I'm now suddenly back from maternity leave, not knowing what day it is. I'm still not getting any sleep. And I have to tell all the board, our colleagues, the community, that this just incredible human being has lost his life. How do you navigate that?
Coming up on this episode, we talk to Lucy from Madlaw Youth Zone, a local charity based in Oldham, and discuss what they do for young people and how you, as business owners and individuals, can get behind it.
Yeah, and we'll touch on the Youth Zone's patron programme, how it can benefit your business, and also look at the tax relief opportunities that come out of supporting charity. Welcome to the Ledger Lounge, Lucy. You're the CEO at Madlaw, and we want to try and find out a little bit, and for everybody who's listening, try and find a bit about Madlaw, a bit about you, and a little bit about, from a business point of view, how businesses can, one, get involved in Madlaw, and two, the benefits of getting involved with Madlaw. Yep. So, Madlaw, who are they? Who is it? They? It? Not sure.
So we are, don't want to start from the beginning?
Why not?
So years and years ago, Bolton Lads and Girls Club, so you might have heard that they've been going now for donkey's years.
Yes.
Based in Bolton, an open access youth centre, really popular for the boxing back in the day, but have now got all sorts of facilities under one roof for young people. The chief exec over at Bolton Lads and Girls Club had reached out to a man called Bill Holroyd. His business used to be in Oldham called Holroyd and Meek.
Oh, yeah, I remember the name.
Yeah, so Bill become a trustee on the board at Bolton Lads and Girls Club because there's an independent charity. Bill then got the bug for youth work and said that every town in the UK should have a Bolton Lads and Girls Club for their young people. So Bill then set up a charity called Onside, and at the time it was Onside Northwest because they had the aim to build these purpose-built youth centres for young people across the Northwest. From then Bill went in to speak to his friends, business partners, people who he'd come across to get investment to build youth zones in Greater Manchester. And that's where then he come across your likes of Sir Norman Stoller, David and Jeanette Barker, the Rothwell family, and said that they wanted to have a youth zone in Oldham. So from very early days, the council were committed to having a youth zone be built, purpose-built. The aim is that they have the youth zones built in the town centre so that young people from across the borough and where they're based, that they can access. So Oldham was one of the last places to get funding from the My Place scheme, which was a national scheme run from central government. So we got funding to build the actual building. The land was gifted by the council, and we're on the old Marjorie Lee's health
I think I used to have my dentist there back in the day.
Yeah. A lot of people said that they had the dentist there. So that was the site that we had. Back in 2011, I was a youth worker for Oldham Council for the youth service, and one of the projects that I was working on with the other youth workers was to work with a group of young people, so the Young People's Development Group it was called, to design and develop what this new youth zone was going to be for the town. So the young people were involved in designing. They sat down with an architect and worked out what it would look like.
Oh, amazing.
They chose the name. So a young lady called Charlotte Kilroy chose the name Madlaw or The Edge, and it went to vote, and Madlaw won. For some people, some listeners still might not know, and it's only till people have written it, they'll go, oh, it's Oldham backwards.
We were talking about that yesterday.
About this the other day.
And Charlotte's idea was that it would be, the youth zone was going to be coming and turning Oldham on its head, hence the flipping of the name Oldham.
So now you know.
I tell everyone who doesn't know me.
Yeah, it's Oldham backwards.
It's Oldham backwards.
We're not backwards.
Yeah,
We're not backwards. So then the young people was involved in recruiting the team. So I was applied as a youth worker. I applied to be on the opening team. So I was successful. And when we first started, I was junior zone coordinator. So I planned all the provision for our younger members, for our 8 to 12-year-olds. And then in 2012, we officially opened. So we had Prince Edward did our official opening, a royal visit. That was lovely.
So was there a period of time before the actual building opened that Madlaw was operating like in other places?
We were recruited in the October 2011 and we opened in March, so we only had a short a short space to do all the recruitment, get all the team trained and ready to open. But we were going around, did a lot of consultation with young people to find out what it is that they wanted to do when they come to the youth zone. So for anyone that hasn't been, if you think about a youth centre that you might have, a stereotypical youth centre you might have gone to when you were younger, it's nothing like that. We're across 3 floors. We have a state-of-the-art gym, which is better than most adult gyms, I think. It's got everything you could possibly need to train, so I've been told. We've got a climbing wall, a boxing studio, drama studio, sensory room, arts and crafts, like a visual studio, you name it. We've got it. So it was really important that the young people were involved in it's theirs, finding out what it is that they wanted to do when they came. So we did spend a lot of time going into schools to promote, to get people excited. It's a whole campaign around it's coming.
Yeah.
So people kind of thinking, oh, well, what's coming? On our official opening day, we had young people queuing all the way down Edgerton Street to get in. Yeah,
right.
It was.
Yeah.
A baptism of fire that night, but yeah, it was incredible.
Emotional and scary on equal levels.
But it was incredible. So we're now in our 14th year of operation. So we're open 7 days a week for young people. We have, depending on young people's ages, we have even a junior session or a senior session. On a weekend, we have a girls only session on a Saturday afternoon that's led by an all-female team. On a Sunday, it's dedicated to families to come with their young people and get involved and participate in all the activities together as that family unit. Since opening, over the 14 years, the amount of hours that we're open in terms of our hours that we provide youth work or services has nearly tripled, and that's just because of the need, the demand from the town. So we've got, since opening now, we've got a mentoring programme where we have volunteers that are paired with a young person, and they meet weekly for at least 12-month period. We have a whole district office, so we've got the hub that's based on Sir Norman Stalloway, it's now called. Yeah. Our hub is based there, but we actually operate across the borough now, so we have at least 10 sessions operational across the week.
Wow.
So on a Friday night we're up in Denshaw, another night we'll be in Shaw, Chadderton, you name it. We operate out of different spaces, so it could be Town Hall, Village Hall, but then we also have a team that work out in the parks, that'll go into parks and on the streets, engaging with young people with come across with the aim to get them into some sort of provision. And
is this opportunity for people from those outlying areas to come into the centre as well?
Absolutely. I mean, we do have young people travelling in from Tameside, from Rochdale. We have a group of lads that are massive basketball fans that will travel from central Manchester on a Wednesday evening to come and play basketball. So we do have young people travelling into, if the offer's right.
They're just not. It's not restricted to people from Oldham.
No, absolutely not. And we have got programmes. So, like I said, we're out in the district for those young people that, transport may be a barrier or they're not allowed out of the certain area for whatever reason. Yeah. So we'll go into communities to engage with young people where they are. We also have our minibus, so we'll do shuttle runs and pick young people up. With a number of primary schools that are local to the hub. We'll do a walking bus, so we'll meet young people and literally walk them to the centre after school for our after school club. So yeah.
Brilliant. So is it a whole gamut of services?
There's so much for young people. I mean, our mission is that what we're there to do is to provide young people with the support to be the best that they can be.
Have you ever had any young people that have attended and then now work there at Madlow?
Yes. So we're really passionate about growing our own. The very first young leader at Madlow, so that was a young person whose brothers came to junior zone when I was junior zone coordinator. So the brothers used to come in, and Shawneen used to come and pick up the brothers with mum. And mum had asked, is there any leadership opportunities? Could you come and volunteer? And we didn't have anything. And back then it was just like, well, it still is now. It's like, let's make it happen. So I set up a young leaders programme. Shawneen was our very first young leader. And now she's our youth work manager.
Brilliant.
So she went on to be an adult volunteer. She's been to university and got a degree in youth work and is now heading up all of the youth work offer for us. We have quite a lot of other young people who are now either young leading or are adult volunteers with us and are on that kind of pathway and going off and doing the youth work qualification.
And even if they don't come into Madlow,
Oh, yeah.
As part of the career, it's creating, opportunity,
Yeah,
isn't it?
absolutely. Yeah, we've had two other girls. So Charlotte Kilwer, who actually named the set Madlaw, she became a sessional member of staff.
Right.
And she's gone on now to do incredible things elsewhere. We've had Rachel Appleton, who again was supporting as a young leader. She then became a sessional member of staff and is now a social worker, I think over in Bolton. But, so yeah.
Yeah, so it's created wider opportunities for a lot of people that have attended when they were
and the
younger.
volunteer programme. So we're always on the hunt for volunteers, people that just want to give I mean, it's the most precious thing, give their time to help out, whether that be a minibus driver or supporting in just running the tuck shop for the night or, working directly with young people. We've had individuals that's been their first step back into work, whether it's been because they've been out of work due to ill health for years, or there's a mum that's been taking time out to look after her children and watch children grow up and actually want to do something for them now. So it's got people back into the workplace as well.
Amazing, yeah, it is. So what about you? How did you get into youth work?
I flipped between lots of different things early on. So from being very, very young, I always knew that I wanted to work with children and young people. Mm-hmm. So I went to university and did 1 year's children's nursing, and it was not for me. It was not for me. But the thing that I really, really enjoyed is one of my placements. I was on a ward with young people who were kind of plugged into the dialysis machines for 8 hours a day. So I was keeping them entertained and talking to them, building relationships with them. And that's what I really enjoyed, the admin and getting Calpol, not for me. Hats off to our nurses. But it just wasn't me. But the thing that I loved was developing those relationships and engaging with young people. I started volunteering with I think it was with Oldham Council in Alexandra Park. So it was like a Digging for Health project, and it was through their
Gardening.
Yeah, gardening. Again, not for me. But in terms of that, engaging with the community, I loved it. And just through that, then I was able to meet new people. Someone mentioned, have you ever heard of youth work? And I'd never heard of it before. And I was like, what? That's a career? I was like, absolutely. So then I went and did my postgraduate diploma in youth and community work, and through different volunteering opportunities and then getting involved with the Oldham Council's youth service. That's kind of where I started.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, and then that took you into to working in the foundations or the setup of Madlaw.
Yeah.
Amazing. And here you are, CEO of Madlaw.
I know.
14 years later.
So your journey then, obviously you started as a youth worker. Did you then always know that you wanted to stay with Madlaw and develop your own career with Madlaw? No,
not necessarily. Yeah. So I knew that I'm really passionate about young people. I think I'll always work with young people. But when I first started, there was no way I would have said, one day I'm going to be chief exec of this charity, this amazing charity. I think I took opportunities when they come up. I learn through doing. So whenever I talk about, different roles, it's always seems to have been like a bit of a baptism of fire. So it's just off you go. So the opportunity to come up to be youth work manager. So I threw my hat in the ring and said, I'll give it a go. I've got no management experience whatsoever. How hard can it be? It's a lot easier to work with young people. So I've always just thrown my hat in the ring and thought, give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? I'll learn while I can. And then on side, I started a talent academy some years ago. So I went on an aspiring chief execs programme. Absolutely loved it. I ended up having a 6 months secondment over at Bolton Lads and Girls Club. So lots of opportunities that have been given from on side, and I'm going to be forever grateful. Yeah. And through that, then I came back to Madlaw and I asked to go into a completely different role. So rather than being involved in youth work, I asked to go into the hand of the fundraising side of things. I knew nothing really about other than what I'd learned on the Aspiring Chief Execs programme, and I really enjoyed it. Completely different, really, really tricky, even more so now. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then I went on maternity leave not long after. When I came back, I think I was in work 2 or 3 weeks. And we went into lockdown in 2020. All of the team was being furloughed at that point. Everyone kind of down tools. We can't engage with them, but you can't go out to see young people. They can't come in at this moment in time until we hear off what actually we can and cannot do. The chief exec at the time, Mike Duran, phoned me and said, I'm not feeling so great. Can you stay on and furlough until I recover, until I get better, and then you can go on furlough like everyone else? I was like, absolutely, I'll hold the fort. So that was kind of late March, early April, and he passed away with COVID in hospital not long after.
Oh, how sad.
Which, then, like I said, the baptism of fire, that is just the word, I'm now suddenly back from maternity leave, not knowing what day it is. I'm still not getting any sleep. And I have to tell all the board, our colleagues, the community, that this just incredible human being has lost his life. How do you navigate that? So then, we're a charity. We rely on income coming in. At the time, businesses were having to pull out of their support because they didn't know what was next for their staff. Quite rightly so. So then we had to then look at, cutting costs. And so it was just quite possibly the worst couple of months of my entire life.
And at a time when young people are probably facing the biggest challenges that they'd ever faced in their lives as well.
Absolutely. So really, really difficult months to navigate. We brought back our kind of key youth workers at the time, and we was doing doorstep visits. So we did prioritise the most vulnerable young people that we thought we might need to have some eyes on. They might not be accessing other services, or schools aren't being able to, not turning up for like schooling, or just people that we had concerns of. So we used to do doorstep visits. We then started doing online youth work sessions. So we did cooking sessions where the team would drop off all the ingredients or pots and pans that they needed for the night, and then we'd go live and run a cooking workshop. We had quizzes online, or you name it. It was incredible. And then when we were allowed to, we was then operating in bubbles, so we were able to bring back certain numbers of young people into the building. And with us having such a huge building, we was able to use different wings, if that makes sense, different entrances, so we could have multiple bubbles into. I'm so glad we don't have to do bubbles anymore and all that type of stuff. Oh, it was a nightmare. But we have parents now that will contact us and say what a difference that made, having that interaction during COVID for that time.
So, like you say, as straight in at the deep end.
Straight in at the deep
interim
end.
Interim CEO, was it called?
Yeah, it was interim chief exec, and then the board appointed me as the chief exec then in 2021. Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So. All of that work with the young people takes money.
Yep.
An immense amount of money as well, isn't it?
A lot of it.
About £2 million a year?
Yeah. So this year I think it's 1.8 million.
And that's just to stay open, isn't it?
Yeah.
And deliver the services that that Madlow delivers. So there are elements of core funding, I suppose, which come from individuals or from local authority.
Yeah, so we get a certain amount from a small amount from in terms of percentage wise from the local authority, and then the rest is all fundraising. Yeah. So the majority of the funds come from individuals, from businesses that are really generous with their money and invest in young people via Madlow. So
you've got an incredibly busy fundraising team.
Very busy fundraising team. So we have, we write bids to grants and trusts. So it might be like the lottery fund us, Children in Need fund us. We then run our events. So you might see that we have annual golf days. We have an annual ball that's coming up in March,
which is a really good evening.
It's brilliant evening. Anyone thinking of a really good night out, and then you support young people, that's the one. So we have different events that happen. We then have our patrons program, and this one it's really, really, really special program. What this means is we have local businesses, local individuals that will invest in young people via the patrons program, and that's a commitment for some patrons like to give the commitment for a year, and we have conversations annually around their support. Then we also have patrons that might commit to 3 years worth of funding, and what that allows us is if we know that our patrons are on board and they're giving it a certain amount, nothing's ever guaranteed, and certain things happen in people's businesses, like during the pandemic. It actually gives us a bit of reassurance that, you know, we don't have to do an event or a raffle or something. We've got that commitment that we can keep focus on the operations around that youth work and supporting young people. So we have different levels to our patrons programme. So to be a bronze level patron, it's 3,000, and that's incremental then up to our platinum patrons, who we have 4 or 5 now that give at £25,000 a year. Wow. Being part of the patrons programme, you know, they, as well as investing and that feel good factor, which they tell us, they've got that feel factor that they're doing something good for young people. They're investing locally. They want to give back to the community. They've also really opportunities to do that business networking, to meet other like-minded individuals. Sometimes they go off and do business together, which you know, is wonderful. It's wonderful. It's similar across all other youth zones as well. So you patrons can meet other patrons from across Greater Manchester or across the UK. So, yeah. I mean, why did James Scott Accountants become a patron?
One of the events, I don't think you mentioned before, but you have done in the past, this 3 Peaks of Saddleworth walk, which I don't think I've ever seen you on. I've seen you waving us off.
In the morning.
I think I've seen you on
I do the waving and the handing out of the jelly beans.
And the welcome back at the pub afterwards.
Welcome back at the pub.
Yeah, we've been at the top of the Alphin Pike in the rain.
There's quite a few horrid photographs of me at the top of those peaks.
And I think probably that was our first exposure to Madlow, and that's probably about 2016, 2017. Having said that, we were auditing a trust that was also part of the original setup. So maybe we got a little bit of exposure there as well. So we came across, and then it was about 2 years ago, and my wife Liz, she's a communicator for the deaf at local college, and one of her students was doing a placement at Madlow, and she'd come home having been in Madlow on a Tuesday evening supporting this young lady. And she was absolutely off the scale with her enthusiasm for Madlow and what an amazing place, and what you were saying about the atmosphere and everything before. And I think it was almost her said, "You've got to get involved in this."
Thanks, Liz.
I know. It was her. So then I think talking to Brendan about it, who's in partnership with. He knew Madlow through the rugby and also through the 3 Peaks. I think he's been on the 3 Peaks, and we were speaking to Claire as well, because we were because we involved with the 3 Peaks. She knew we were accountants, so there's tax planning opportunities with donations to charities or the patron program or whatever. So I think it was, well, it's almost like physician heal thyself, and you can't go saying how wonderful this place is if you're not backing it yourself. So I think it was that really that brought us formally as patrons, as opposed to just sort of casual supporters. Yeah. Again, from a business's point of view, and it perhaps more so in construction businesses, there's a big emphasis from main contractors on social value and ESG, corporate social responsibility. Yep. So the patron program again allows you to demonstrate that.
Absolutely, and we're really keen to work with businesses that perhaps are putting into tender for work. We're really keen to sit down with them to talk about what would work best for them, what would really help our young people, so that we work on that together. So we can maximise that support both ways, really.
It's important. It's not just a tick box exercise, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the person seeking the work. Yeah. And that's what I've noticed from the patron program is we get invited to events. Yeah. 3 or 4 events a year, maybe more. Yeah. Constantly getting communications. I'm saying constantly
in a good way.
In a good way. Yeah. Keeping us informed.
Yeah.
And so it's not just a okay, that's what we've done, tick box.
We have that regular communication, so we're always wanting to share with our patrons and supporters the impact that they're having, because they have a huge impact. We're able to do some wonderful kind of support and programs for young people, which without support, then we wouldn't be able to have that opportunity to put something new on, or it would be doing the same old same thing, going back to the blueprint, which we started off with in 2012, and that's not what our young people need or want. So one of the things that we're looking at the moment is a digital youth work offer, because there's a need there. There's young people that aren't leaving the bedrooms because they want to stay on the game, or they then they don't want to come out because they're so anxious about going out and meeting new people and it be different. And so that's what we're hoping to start this year, to kind of engage young people on an online platform, with the hope then to actually physically bring them in. So it might be a gaming session, for instance, and even if they come in then to the centre in our gaming area, it's really fancy, in our gaming area, and they might be sitting and playing on the Xbox and, like a FIFA tournament or something. They might be sat next to each other. They might not talk, but the fact that they've actually physically come into the centre will be huge for some young people.
Well,
and having that patrons programme, getting that new funding in different streams, just allows us to be able to try new things to hopefully change things for the better for our young people.
That's right. And it's that impact that being a patron can help you deliver, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We were looking at the impact report in the office, and I think it covered the first 6 months of 2025. And some of is it 3,000 members?
Yeah, so we've got 3,500 members. At one given point, we may have had 3,500 members, but over the year that we were near on 6,000 members, where you get young people that are just starting, or we call it aging out. So they're they're too old now to come. They're being adult now. So we have the impact report and
7,500 meals in that 6 month period.
In a 6 month period,
So that's a massive help to.
Yeah,
we were talking about the poverty that Oldham experiences.
Yeah.
And so that again,
this is it. It's so needed. It's not, youth work isn't or shouldn't be seen as a nice to have. It's an absolute essential. Yeah. Young people spend more time outside of the classroom than inside of the classroom. And you look at where the funding and the support most goes. Obviously, yes, it's on education, but there's very little then around what they do in the leisure time. If it is, there's stuff going on, it's expensive. Yeah. Out of that 6,000 young people that we've supported, 75%, 76% are living in poverty, so decile 1 and 2. We're really passionate that Madlow is for every young person in Oldham. That's
what the patron programme can do, and you don't have to be a company.
No, individuals.
So personal tax, again, from an accountant's point of view, personal tax planning with gift aid, or just getting involved, so going to events or whatever. It's if you can find a way of getting tax relief on that's everybody's winning then. So Madlow are benefiting from it, the young people are benefiting from it, and
individuals are.
The individual.
Yeah.
So as we're approaching the end of the tax year, or you could be, if you're a company, you're approaching your financial year, which could be any time, you perhaps could be looking at the amount of profits you've been making in the business. And one way of reducing corporation tax is to make donations into charities. And one way of benefiting you as a business is, like we were saying, the patron program. And I think we've also got the individually, you can get tax relief on contributions. And that's one of the nice little tax reliefs that you can actually backdate. It's one of the only ones that's left that you can make a payment in a tax year and relate it back into an earlier tax year. So you can almost do some retrospective tax planning as well with it, which I always find really useful. And I don't know whether a lot of people know that. So I think that's a really useful tool. So you can, as an individual, you can get 40% tax relief on. So you'll get gift aid, which will be then, you can put it on your tax return and get 40% tax relief. And as a company, whatever the tax rate you're paying, either 19 or 25%, you'll get tax relief at that rate on any donations or investments you make into Madlow. So I think those are both really useful points to make. that will benefit you as a business.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of businesses probably don't ask their accountants or think, oh, well, if I donate to this, then it'll come off my corporate. They probably just think, oh, no, not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, whether it comes up that often in pre-year and meetings with clients, because we are involved in Madlow, I always bring it up as an opportunity.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to know whether other businesses get that same advice from their accountants. Maybe it's something we should start shouting about a little bit more.
Yeah,
definitely.
Because I think I don't know I'm not a facts and figures girl, but I think if someone was a £25,000 made a £25,000 donation to Madlow, we would get 25,000, but the business would only pay, I think, is it 12?
You would get
12,000
tax relief on that 20. You would get the 25,000. Yep. The company would save, if it was paying tax at 25%, it would save £6,250.
Right.
So it would cost the business, and this is going to test my maths now, isn't it? Katie will do this one.
1 minute, what did you, 19,750? 18,750.
Edit that, please. 18,750.
18,750.
So yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And again, as an individual, the same sort of thing applies. If you paid £10,000, the government would uplift that with gift aid to £12,000, but you would claim another £2,000 back. So that Madlow gets £12,000, it costs you £8,000.
Yeah.
So really,
it is a good little tool, isn't it? Really, for
it is.
a lot of businesses and individuals.
That can benefit all.
Yeah.
The question is, if I'm sat at home listening to this, or I'm driving in my car, and I think, that's something I'd like to get involved in. Mm-hmm. I'm running a business, year end coming up, tax planning. How do we do that?
You can reach out to myself. We have a fundraising team. All of our details are on the Madlow Youth Zone website. Just remember, Madlow's Oldham spelt backwards. If you
You
Google
don't know how to spell it.
Just reach out. I think, like we said before, seeing is believing. So I'm more than happy to anyone that wants to come and have a look around the centre, find out more, and see if you want to. Yeah. Take it the next step further and get involved, whether that be through our patrons programme or volunteering or attending some of our events, or bringing your young people along or attending one of our sessions.
Events are on the website, aren't they?
The events should be all on the website. Yeah.
That's brilliant. So I think the answer is get in touch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Please
get in touch, get involved.
Yeah,
yes.
Get in touch, get involved. Definitely.
Wonderful. Thanks very much, Lucy.
No, thank you for having me on.
Thank you.
Really
enjoyed it.
Insightful, I think.
Yeah, really interesting.
The Ledger Lounge is brought to you by James Scott Accountants in Oldham, Greater Manchester. Please like, rate and subscribe wherever you listen to the show. To find out how James Scott can help you build a better business, visit jamesscott.com. This podcast is a QPod production. Visit kupod.co.uk for more information.